Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu wa salamu ala Rasulih Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi. Professor Latif Hussain Kazmi Sahab, President of the session. Professor Kuvar Muhammad Yusuf Amin Sahab. I see among the audience here Professor Nazir Ahmad Dar Sahab. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is an occasion of happiness, and I think it my privilege to be in the inaugural function of a society related to the study of traditional philosophy in our campus in the at the Aligarh Muslim University. And I am fortunate also to have been associated with an intellectual initiative started much earlier in this university by Professor Kumar Muhammad Yusuf Amin Sahab, and to introduce to you something related to that academic initiative. I start with it that it was Sayyid Hussain Nasr's comments in his foreword to the book of Allama Muhammad Baqir As-Sadr's Falsafatuna, Our Philosophy, when he said, too often in present-day scholarship in the West concerning what is usually called fundamentalism or revivalist Islam, attention is focused upon figures and movements which are based on emotional and sentimental responses against the evils and injustices prevalent throughout the world. Much less attention has been paid to the intellectual response that has issued from certain quarters to the challenges of modernism, and which has sought to provide an Islamic answer, not simply by shouting slogans, but having recourse to the rich intellectual tradition and the use of logic and reason as commanded by the Quran and inspired traditional commentaries. Dear friends, this comment of Sayyid Hussain Nasr should be an eye-opener for all of us, that we live in a world where there are many parallel trends of thought, and many of the thought patterns are eclipsed, marginalized, and given less attention to, not because they lack the robustness or sophisticacy, but because of other factors. The dominant Western thought patterns have led to serious crises in thought and its products. Those of us who are involved in academics and intellectual discourses must be aware of a lot of material coming out over the period of time relating to the nature of crises and frantic efforts by many within the paradigm of the positivist materialist thought of the West to seek the solutions to the problems, or by others as well. But we feel that there are many attempts by pseudo-intellectuals and others to seek some to develop some sort of relationship with the dominant thought patterns, and it is, as one can expect, it does not deliver anything. So there has been a very serious attempt that we should look for some profound critique of existing thought sources and patterns of thought. And there should be definite solutions to the problems which are there in the existing Western thought systems. And in this connection, to come out of the vicious circle, and move ahead with something, what I can call as something robust, sophisticated, and profound thought, we have been looking for. And we are very surprised that the development of Western thought pattern is not only one that is the dominant system there, but there have been parallel systems going on all through its history, but we know very little about them. And I'm just here. This program is devoted to reveal some of the facets of that parallel, what I call as a robust, sophisticated, and profound thought stream, which was developed mainly in the West. There are some scholars from the East as well who have contributed a lot to that they have critiqued the existing materialistic thought system of the West on the basis of traditional philosophy. So we find a galaxy of the scholars who made a restatement of traditional thought intelligible to the contemporary man. The pioneers of this great intellectual movement is led by giants like René Guénon, Shawn, Sayyid Hussain Nasr, Naqib al-Atas, Martin Links, and others. We just see that now we have not only just to find some profound critique to the existing thought patterns, thought sources, and its products, like whole knowledge system. This is $1 million question. How to make use of this whole restated traditional philosophy for critiquing the existing knowledge system and making the proper analysis of it and optimizing it for better appreciation of the truth. So recourse to this restated traditional philosophy and appropriating the wisdom and methods to the existing knowledge discipline is a vital step for bringing out healthier modifications in the respective disciplines and optimizing them. Dear friends, if we just further explain purpose, very two important purposes. Why critique of the academic disciplines? Number one, analysis of the discipline. Number two, for it is optimization. But optimization, it also means two things. One, improvement of the objective and methodology of the discipline. Second, for better management of the discipline. Improvement of the objective and methodology of a discipline is more applicable to human sciences, whereas better management of the discipline is more applicable to natural sciences. This great initiative, which was initiated here at Aligarh, making use of this traditional philosophy and which is engagement with the modern Western philosophy and it is products, has been taken years back by Professor Kumar Muhammad Yusuf Amin Saab, and I am fortunate enough to have been associated with him in all these initiatives and learning and internalizing the great treasures of wisdom which have been exposed since 2015 in a very formal way. So you can call this initiative here as something, this specialty, you can call it philosophy science interface. And as has been stated, philosophy here means contemporarily restated and engaged traditional or comparative philosophy, comprehensive philosophy. It is mainly Islamic philosophy, and what it addresses, all levels of reality, material and supramaterial, and using all levels of consciousness, empirical, rational, intuitive, and revelational. And science means all sciences, both modern natural and human sciences, for example, physics and biology and literature and sociology. And traditional sciences, we meet traditional medicine, which is here called Unani medicine, traditional metaphysics, etc. And interface means application of restated and engaged traditional or comprehensive philosophy, mainly Islamic philosophy, for analysis and optimization of science, natural and human sciences, as well as individual sciences. So since 2015, some seminal events have taken place under the leadership, intellectual and practical leadership of Professor Kumar Muhammad Yusuf Amin Sahab. And the first seminal workshop was conducted in March 2015. It was a national workshop on fundamental issues in knowledge and its acquisition, FICA, F-I-K. There is a dedicated website. You can just see it on the slide, FICA-F.com. And it was attended by the faculty from different universities, research scholars, and the outcome of this whole intellectual exercise is preserved in resolutions. And you can go on this website, FICA F website, and even you can download the resolutions which have been passed. And for me, as a student of Islamic studies, and I just see that there has been, we know in 20th century, something like in the Marxist development, there have been some resolutions which are considered very seminal, though for us these ideologies are not only materialistic, but these are very, very myopic in nature. Here we deal with all the levels of reality, and from spirituality to the mundane affairs, and in the light of the all-inclusive philosophy, we get on the basis of all-inclusive philosophy, we get engaged in different streams of Western thought, and also the products of Western thought, that is different disciplines in natural and human sciences. And there are around 18 resolutions, and this was one of the seminal step towards bringing into focus that this is not just an abstract idea of eulogizing something what we call as traditional philosophy, but to understand it properly, restated traditional philosophy, and then engaging it practically in different areas belonging to sequel to the first national workshop on fundamental issues in knowledge and its acquisition, FICA 2015 was a more focused conference, national conference on philosophy-science interface, key issues and texts, to lead the scholars to some key issues and to identify the relevant texts for getting a proper understanding of the subject matter. So some of the books which were introduced and Professor Yusuf Amin Saab, mainly he just explained some the gist of the material contained in those books and how they can be utilized for critique of the existing knowledge patterns. And among the books have been Sayyid Hussain Nasr's book Islam and the Modern World, and also his book on Sayyid Hussain Nasr's book Islamic Philosophy from its origin to the present, and for people who want to just see things in a very simple idiom, A Young Muslim's Guide to the Modern World, and also Religion and the Order of Nature, Man and Nature, and an Introduction to Islamic Cosmological Doctrines, Shon's book Dimensions of Islam, Guino's The Multiple States of Being, Introduction to the Study of Oriental Doctrines, and Martin Link's The 11th Hour, again Sayyid Hussain Nasr's Islamic Art and Spirituality, and Ananda Kumara Swami's book Philosophy of Christian and Oriental Art, and W. Smith's book Quantum Enigma, and Hoston Smith's book Postmodern Mind, Beyond the Postmodern Mind. These were some of the books which were focused upon in this conference, and then there was at the end of this conference, there was a session totally devoted to Unani medicine and philosophy. And there were some very leading professors of the field of Unani medicine who just participated in that seminar, and it has been now Professor Yusuf Amin Saab has been there in the leading role in introducing the philosophy of the Islamic medicine and engaging it with the modern medicine and highlighting its role in the existing healthcare systems. Later on, there has been many other programs. I have listed some of them, like Symposium on Comparative Philosophy of Traditional and Western Medicine 2017, National Seminar in Islamic Philosophy, India International Center, held by Delhi Council on Philosophical Research, an affiliate of Center for Study and Research. I must tell you that from Aligarh, now this is an Indian movement research institute, CSR, Hyderabad based institute. Professor Yusuf Amin Saab is the director of this institute, and under the auspices of this institute, many conferences related to law, psychology, literature have been held over the years, and Professor Yusuf Amin has been making very important contributions as keynote speaker and in those areas, and demonstrating to us how this restated traditional philosophy can be appropriated for analysis of the existing disciplines and optimizing them. And we have lately a conference on literary trends in 21st century. It was in Delhi. Again, Professor Yusuf Amin Saab was there. So these are some of the programs which have been conducted, and I see that Professor Yusuf Amin Saab continues to be very, very busy in now demonstrating the relevance and the application of this rich treasure with us. So with these remarks, I just make some conclusion. This is my personal conclusion, that by being part of this serious academic initiative, we actually move from cliches to substance, from shallowness to profundity, from confusion to clarity, from skepticism to certitude. So I think that let us be part of serious intellectual initiative and just help optimize the existing disciplines for better appreciation of the reality and for knowing the truth, helping people recognize the truth. And with these remarks, I hope that inshallah in the days to come we can have more programs and we will just be discussing things related to this great treasure. Thank you very much. Fi amanillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.